one of the ways that the government is trying to scare us now is, oh my God, these Al-Qaeda guys are geniuses. Ibrahim al-Asiri, he's the top bomb maker in Yemen. He's the guy that's involved in all these different plots. And he's got a new ingenious plan. He's made a suit or clothing that you can douse in certain chemicals, and when it is wet, it will not explode. But upon drying, kaboom. Come on, man. We're supposed to believe this crap? But the reason to be scared of Al-Qaeda isn't because they're have the world's greatest scientists that MI6 and the CIA can't keep up with. It's that they're really determined to attack us, partly because we keep attacking them.
Florida Christian puppeteer Ronald William Brown has been convicted of possession of child pornography.
Some of the kids were kind of giggling and laughing, you know, and I wondered why they were doing that.
He also faced a charge of conspiracy to kidnap a child, but he was not convicted on that charge. It turns out that last year authorities arrested him because they found child pornography in his home, and they also found that he had fantasies about killing children and eating them.
When you see something like this, you know that he probably got into puppeteering because he wanted to be closer to kids.
Exactly.
So, on one side, we have the criticism we do of the president legitimately for his spying programs, abuse of civil liberties, pro-banking, etc. And now on the other side, you have the right-wing lunatics like Beck, who blame him for things that are absolutely insane and not remotely true.
Those embers that racists have been sowing. What is the billows for that? It will be a crisis of some sort that will set off a race war.
Now look, I understand that Beck is on his last legs and he's floating into oblivion as we speak. Hey Glenn, where are you going? Can hardly hear you. And he's not a very relevant figure anymore, so he can say all the loony things he wants, right? But this is dangerous talk.
Public policy polling, and what they found was that Georgia Republicans favor Paula Deen over MLK. In fact, if you look at the specific numbers, 73% find Paula Deen favorable, only 11% find her unfavorable. And when it comes to MLK, 59% say favorable, 28% unfavorable.
Who finds Martin Luther King Jr. unfavorable?
Racist.
Okay, mystery solved. So if they're leaning towards Paula Deen, they're like, hey, you know what, she's from here, and etc. I get that, right? But Martin Luther King is also from there, and one of the most important Americans in history. He could barely muster up 59% approval. That's unbelievable. Now, researchers decided to look into climate science and how it was covered in the press, and whether that made a difference in people's perception. What's interesting is, not only did they find that it makes a difference in the perception of the issue of climate change, but they found that it makes a difference in the perception of science itself. Not only do the people who follow Fox News and Rush Limbaugh more regularly not believe in climate science, but they actually had a 13% decrease in trust in science overall.